to the second video for Wawa video chat with staff and students. We have a lot of people on the call, and we have a lot of people joining us. I'm going to record this so that way we can share it with other people. Amy's here. She just texted in the chat box on the side there. I just want to do a couple announcements, and then we're going to get going. So as you can see on that little screen, is dating in high school worth it? Wahai video chat number 2. Also, I have a website that we're running the after school program through called wallafterschool.com. We have rad stuff, and that's why I asked people to sign into the Google form so I could see who's coming, and I could send you guys emails to know about the other one. So I'll email you guys, everyone that showed up. We have some special guests on the call, and I didn't know if I had the counselors confirmed, but we do have the counselors here as well. So I'll have to put their picture on next time to thank them. But we have Mr. and Mrs. Hysaw and Catherine, and I'm your sad host, Andrew. And I'd like the other Wahai staff members that are on the call, if you could just tell us your name and say hi to everybody. So. So, if you're a staff member, could you say hi in your name?
Hi, Mr. I.
Miss Lujan. We don't know how to say our name. Can you write it somewhere?
No, just say it. Like you did.
Probably hard after the fact.
Awesome.
We're on. Okay.
There you go. And Mrs. Brown is on as well. And I know that Amy is here. Amy, are you on the chat? And Brent Cummings is on the chat as well. And I know we have other Wahai staff members that are going to be popping in as well. So thank you guys.
Amy's here. Sorry, I had my mute on.
Oh, there we go. Awesome. Hey, I like your background there. It's very colorful.
Yeah, the tree of life.
And so today's topic is dating worth it in high school? I wondered what Google said, so I looked it up. And this is what Google said on the search. It says dating is defined as being romantically involved with someone. An example of dating is two people seeing each other exclusively for 6 months. I didn't know relationships could last that long. The definition of dating is making or assigning recording with a date, showing typical certain time period. So I was wondering, that's the wrong question. Sorry. But from staff that are out there, that was last week's question. But from the staff that are out there, staff, if you could tell us, do you think kids have soul? No, I mean, do you guys think let's see here, is dating worth it in high school? Just from your opinion, staff members out there, could you share with us your minute thought about that? Starting with let's start with the Hysaws right there.
I think it's a great part to it because it teaches a young man how to take care of a young lady and how a young lady can take care of a young man. There's the social respect part of it, yes. I think you learn to figure out who you kind of want to hang out with and why. For later in life, is we were a little different. We met like our last year, literally in college, and so we dated other people, but we found the right one afterwards. So I'm not going to say the high school dating wasn't worth it, but we found it worth it later.
Yeah.
I would piggyback what Eric's saying as well. I just think it's a great way for you to learn about you, learn about others, what your passions are, what person you are. I definitely think dating is worth it.
Sure.
I'm not going to talk a minute.
Amy, what about you over there?
I agree. I think that it's the dog has away. I think it also is worth it. I personally didn't really date much in high school. I was kind of a tomboy, so I didn't really date. And I think that maybe if I would have had a better understanding of myself and what I would have what I deserved and what I would have wanted in a potential partner and stuff. So I think I wish I probably would have, but I was a much late bloomer into the whole dating world, and so yeah, I think it's definitely worth it to, like you said, to understand yourself and what you are looking for and what your partners would be looking for, and how to teach to a boy or a young man to respect a woman, and a young lady to know what her worth and what she deserves, and vice versa. So I think it's really worth it, like a prerequisite.
Yeah. What about Spencer, Mr. I? What about you guys on your chat there?
Well, I think it's innate that, we all want to be loved and appreciated. And, it's a good practice, like the others have said. You want more?
Yeah, I think, I also would say that it's worth it. I think it helps build confidence and learning, kind of like what other people said, learning what you like and kind of what you want from another person. And so I think it can definitely be like a good growing thing for everybody. So, yeah.
Well, this is a good opener. Catherine Curls, what about you?
I don't know. When I think about dating in high school, I kind of think about like little kids learning what is hot and what is not. So like little kids go close to a stove and they learn like this is hot and it might hurt me, but it also gives me like warmth and happiness. And so like learning how to like achieve the good things from a stove without like getting completely burned is kind of a really important lesson that people learn in high school. And then if you get burned, who to go to for help is also important.
Yeah. Let's see here. I know Mrs. Bertinelli just joined us.
Hi, everyone.
Mrs. Bertinelli, would you share us your thought about dating in high school? Is it worth it?
Absolutely.
Oh.
I think that when you're in high school, it's your coming of age, and part of that is learning how to have more complicated relationships with other people. And it's where you make all your mistakes so that as you get older, you can make the right choices in your relationships. But I'm a little leery of online dating and
Well, sure.
the hookup culture. Those are different things, I think. I think face-to-face, which we can't do right now, kind of relationships are key to growing up. So I'm all for them.
Yeah. Barbara Brown, did you want to share? I don't know if she's gonna. You have to unmute yourself if you want to. Well, I will share my 2 cents. Unless we could have like a dating like class in high school, like with etiquette, I think it's stupid. Just for my opinion, I remember in high school, every relationship I had with another young person that I dated, quote unquote, seemed to end in never talking to them again for years. But that might have been.
Did you learn something from that?
Did I learn? No, I hate that for the rest of my life. I knew it. But no, I think dating's an interesting topic, and being in high school, we get to be exposed to a lot of different relationships all day long, and it's where we get to be exposed to how people treat each other, and how the good, bad, and the interesting, I would say. But I want to hear from you, if you Wahai thinks just as much as staff. So here's what I'm going to say. These are the top searches for high school dating. And so I'm going to ask you guys, just open forum, is dating in high school a good idea? What do you guys think, Wahai students? Anybody can go.
Terrible idea.
Kyle, do
You know,
Go ahead.
who am I cutting off?
Kyle Carver, what did you say? Right. Well, who else? Who wants to give their 2 cents? Is dating in high school a good idea?
Oh, I think that's a good idea. It gives you an opportunity to find out how you want to be treated,
Okay.
what you appreciate, having someone appreciate your qualities and being able to express them and being able to share some items of your life with. I think that's very valuable.
True. Mila, were you saying something?
I was just saying, I figured out that at first, my first under high school, and then now being close to ending high school, I just personally, some people find their like one, which is great for them, but I have to know just because when you leave high school, it's really good, and then you don't like compromise what you want to do after high school for the other person. So.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? Aiden, you look like you're on the tip of your tongue right there. Aiden Stiller. Maybe not. Helen, do you have a thought? It looked like you were thinking too.
Yeah. It can be, I think. I mean, you have opportunity and yeah, I don't know.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Keep going.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I mean, it can be either or, but yeah, it could be a good idea to learn of something new and stuff like that. I mean,
cool.
Yeah.
Probably varies from person to person. Like some people might not be ready.
Yeah,
Agreeable.
that's true. Yeah, I agree. That's true. Yeah.
Well, something that I'm gonna say is like, I feel like it kind of depends on like your reasoning for why you want to go into a relationship. Because like, if you're just going into one for the sake of being in a relationship, then it's like,
bye.
Don't do it. There's no point to it. But like, if you're going into a relationship because you care about the person and you want to be cared about, then yeah, I would say it would be a good idea.
Exactly.
Yeah, like what your intentions are and how you put it, and like honestly too, like maturity as well.
Yeah, you grow as a person.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely dated in high school to date. That was not I wasn't really thinking about the other person. That was a fault of mine when I was a teenager.
Yeah, well, you still learn from it though.
True.
Like that's what high school is for. You're supposed to learn.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's completely useless.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm going to say is don't put someone on a pedestal. It's a bad idea.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
One thing I remember from high school dating is that it really made me think about my values for the first time, and what was important to me, and then to listen to another person and what was important to them, and a lot of times break up around that. But without that experience, I wouldn't have known what I really stood for. So, and I still remember those relationships for what I learned from them, and things that other people valued in me that I didn't recognize in myself. I still remember those.
Good point. Moving to the next question there. How long does the average high school relationship last?
That's the biggest question I should answer.
That's a really that depends.
That's one of the mysteries of the universe.
That varies so much.
It can last. I've seen a relationship last a day.
I know that's not supposed to live long.
I've seen it last about like 3 hours.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I saw two people just start dating on the same day, and then they break on
Maybe like
that.
2 weeks. I don't know.
2 weeks.
I'd say 6 months, probably.
6 months.
Yeah.
I'm with Mrs.
6
B and
months would
say
probably
3
be the
months.
max.
I agree with you. Probably the average is about 3 months.
3 months. Counselors, how often do you hear questions about high school relationships?
All the time.
No, really?
I know. It's kind of funny. You have kids coming into our office who they've been together for like 6 months and they're devastated, which is understandable because they know what love is at that point in their life. Love changes as we get older. We've had I've had kids who've been together for a week, and I mean, it just varies. I don't know if there's any set answer for that. You?
Oh.
Good comment. Yeah.
The mystery of the universe cannot be solved.
Does dating
I think it also.
Go ahead.
I think it also kind of depends on how emotionally invested a person might be in the relationship, like both people.
Yeah.
Because like, if maybe you're too emotionally invested, or like if one person is like way too invested in the relationship and the other is like trying to back off, it's probably not going to end well. If one is not invested at all, again, it's probably not going to end well. It needs to be kind of balanced in order for it to last longer.
Like a team.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does dating affect your grades?
Sounds right. Sounds accurate.
Yeah, it can. Yes. Yes.
Invest too much time
If you
into
let
it.
it.
When I was in high school, I always dated guys who were good at math. So yes, it definitely affected.
In that case, that's a yes.
Oh
I
my
know.
God.
I'll actually echo that. My husband helped me get through math in college, so that's very helpful.
Well, that's good to hear.
Maybe that's why the not so smarter guys dated me.
Maybe.
Now I get it.
I would say they were more philosophy type of majors.
Yeah.
I think in my office, when students are telling me that they are choosing their college based on where their significant other from high school is going, then I get really concerned because you change so much in that transition to college or to workforce or military that holding onto those relationships and making your plans based on them can get really scary.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that, Catherine. I had a girlfriend senior year, and it affected my grades. I had horrible grades senior year because I was hanging out with her way too much. And she wanted me to be a worker on the railroad like her father, and I wanted to be a youth pastor. And I ended up going to a different school, but that was a lot of conversations and a lot of hurt that we never even thought about until like end of senior year, which was really interesting. I never worked on the railroad though. I respect those people, but I'm not one of those people. But that's interesting.
Yeah, that's true. My senior year, I was getting a softball scholarship to Gonzaga, and I wanted to be a lawyer. And the boy that I was dating at the time, was actually like my best friend, and we still talk to this day. He went to Gonzaga, but he only went 1 year, and then he went to the military, and he's actually now a doctor, and he's doing labs. So he's really busy right now with this whole thing. So, but I didn't end up going to Gonzaga or becoming a lawyer, obviously.
That's okay.
I was going to change my whole life and our plans, but then things happened. It didn't work out that way.
Yeah. This is a question for our token.
Andrew, getting dumped affects your grades.
Yeah.
What?
Getting dumped.
Yes.
That affects your grades too.
Yes.
Not that I've been dumped. I've had a lot of people who said, I just love you as a friend, brother. It's like, oh, paradise.
Being dumped affects your grades. It's true. I have a question for our token married couple. How can dating affect your health if you're not taking care of yourself? Since you guys are both like health teachers as well, right? So
Well, I guess when we go back to your question, does it affect your grades? It depends on if this is a positive relationship or a negative relationship.
That's good.
And I think it also goes back to when we're talking about mental health, what kind of support system do we have? And that's what's hard in high school. If we have a good or bad support system, when maybe it's a negative type relationship, do you have that support system to work through whatever this is? So in the sense of, does it affect your grades or could it be bad? Absolutely. If you don't have a support system and you can't get out of whatever that relationship is. So yes, it can affect your health, good or bad, but I guess I'm thinking more, that would be more of a negative. But if you have a good support system around you, again, it works through a relationship and you can have a very healthy relationship.
Yeah, and I think along that, again, like she said, the health of the relationship is depend on, I think, whoever you're dating, understanding what your needs are. And if your needs are, I have a huge chem test, that they are hopefully secure enough in the fact that you're studying for your chem test and not doing something goofy, that your grades are important enough to you, and that if you're dating that person, that their test should be important to you as well. And like Amy said, that support system, that netting of what health is like when you have problems, who can you rely on? At the same time, we're talking about the way people move and eat and what they drink. I think it's more prevalent today that the kids understand and they know that exercise is good for them to relieve stress. So if there is a hard part of the relationship, you see kids go walk right now. The more kids starting to jog on their own, they understand they can go move rather than eat to relieve stress. And if you can do that, I think you're going to help yourself in both ways.
Well, the relationship should build you up inside, not take you down.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh, that's a good point.
I think it's harder for us. I'm old, man. We're old. We didn't have social media when we were dating. We were dating in high school, but when we both have, I didn't have.
Are you 35?
It was a
35
phone.
stop,
Yeah, 35. You bet. It was a phone, and I may not see that person for a week unless it's a phone call. I didn't have instant, so it's very different in that sense.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. I do want to keep this video chat to 30 minutes just for everybody's life and everything. But my question is to everybody on the call, is what does it mean to be dating in high school? What does that mean to you guys? When you hear someone saying, we're dating, quote unquote, what does that mean to you guys? I'm just curious.
Like it's not real? Like
it's not. Oh, go ahead, Helen.
Since
So, what about you, Aiden? I'll come back to you. Keep thinking. Let's go to our wonderful counselors. What does it mean when you hear someone say?
I would say it needs to be exclusive. You know, that they're pretty dedicated to each other for whatever that means. And if I could offer some advice, if you're not being treated the way you want to be treated, bump them.
I was really
or Miss Lujan.
Garrett, what about you on the call there? What does it mean to be dating?
That I have no answer to.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's like one of the secret mysteries that I can't answer.
I think Spencer said it earlier, is that someone that you found is a friend you can kind of confide in or that you would like to hang out with. I think sometimes dating is, I found someone that has similar interests to me. And it may be more of a crush. I'm attracted to you, but that to me is more like you're kind of hanging out. Dating is, I think, more of that significant term of, okay, I really kind of like you. And now I think, not that settle down is the right term, but I want to just be with you as a boyfriend or girlfriend. I think that's more of a dating thing. I think that takes time. When someone to me says we're dating on day 2, to me as an adult, it's, hey, you're hanging out. You're just certain, you're not really dating. You're trying to figure out what's going on in your life. And so I think dating to me is more of a mature term than like 3+ months or so.
Sure. Yeah. Any other thoughts, you guys, about what dating means to you guys? Open forum.
Oh wait, of just what dating means? Is that what you meant originally? Oh
Sure.
wait, okay. Sorry, I thought you meant something different. That's why.
So.
Okay. Oh, just our opinion on it? Oh. I mean, it varies. It depends. Like everything. Just, yeah.
Thank you, Helen.
I think it's gone past the stage of, will you go with me? Check yes or no, or maybe. It's elevated at point.
I always say like maybe, perhaps.
I got someone sent me one in 3rd grade, and I didn't know what it meant. I go, where do you want to go? That was my answer.
Oh, okay. Well, Catherine, do you have any more thoughts about dating? If your mic's on there. Looks like Catherine's mic's off at the moment. Well, I really want to thank you guys for being on this video chat. I want to remind you that we have an after-school website to connect you guys. And next week, our theme, even though it's spring break, our theme is: are Marvel movies finished, or do they have a second wind? So we'll be
that one.
Talking about that. I hear that Mr. Polsterwaite is going to be dressed up as Thor. So I'm hoping to snag one of my friends that actually works for DC Comics, even though he loves Marvel movies. He works with DC, so he'll be on the call for a while.
I have a Poison Ivy costume, but she's DC also.
What was your question?
I said I have a Poison Ivy costume, but she's DC.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah.
So thank you, staff and students, for coming to the web call. I hope it was just cool to see your guys' faces. Please feel free, students, if you ever want to email us just for touch points, the counselors, there's teachers, our staff. We're here to support you guys through this whole world of unique adventures that we're doing online school. And thank you again, guys, for being on the web call. I really appreciate you all coming. So
thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, so much. Have a great Tuesday. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
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 Goodbye.
Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, Catherine. Oh, Catherine's gone.